Good morning, everyone. This is day 4 of day 21, coming to you from my house, and it's a lot cooler today. But today, every single volunteer in the country must watch this video. This could solve a lot of your problems in terms of your assistance or the number of people helping out at your club. So, my name is Terry Dillon. My business is TD Community Solutions. We're in 500 clubs and growing across the country. We're working in 12 sports in terms of making clubs healthy. And it's also more than clubs, it's leagues, associations. We've worked with national bodies and we've also worked with state bodies. And today we're going to go through an allowance of $14,000, actually a little bit more than that, $14,200 allowance that comes from the government in terms of having volunteers to work for your club, paid for, to help you in any particular role you see fit. Now, there are some qualifications to that. The qualifications are you have to be over 55. And it's a pre-pension age, and you can't double dip between you can't get this allowance and a super pension or an age pension. But we're finding 98% of our people are qualified for this. It's a very generous assets test. And when we talk about the 6 greatest challenges of clubs, we talk about leadership, we talk about volunteers, we talk about finances, we talk about raising enough money to pay the bills at your club. And also, the greatest challenge is that no one's actually educating our volunteers on how to run their club. And also clubs have lack of forward planning. So this one solution today could solve those other 5 problems in terms of getting more people to help your club and deliver on what you need to do. And typically, as we know, 3 to 4 people run 98% of the work around the club. They typically blow themselves up after about 3 years, and you end up losing good quality people from your club because of the lack of support. You talk about this is a 100-year-old problem, and I'm referring to for the last 2 or 3 years in terms of working with clubs. But there is a formula to running a successful club, and there's a lot of emotion that goes with running a club. And people often get worn out. They're tired. They're emotional. They walk away because it ends up being way too hard. And as we know with most committees, is that they turn over once every 3 years on average. And that's the sad fact, because the current model is not working. So let's hook into this allowance. So it's $14,200 a year. You have to be 55 and over. And it has to be pre-pension, whether that's 66 or 67. It has a very generous assets test. And as I said earlier, you can't double dip. You can't get the super pension or an age pension, but I'm finding a lot of clubs that can generate, whether it be 2, 3 or 4 people to run their canteen, do match day. They could be the treasurer, they could be the secretary, they could be your general manager. I have one club particularly that I only became aware of this 3 months ago, albeit we've been in the market since February 2016. I became aware of this 3 months ago, and now I am telling the world. It is absolute no-brainer. Inbox us if you want to know a little bit more information. But the great thing about this, that there's no cap on the number. So you could have and it's not one person, or it's not one amount of $14,200 a year. This could be 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the person has to work 15 hours a week for your club. And often when I speak to people, they say, look, this is too good to be true. And when I first heard it, I thought exactly the same, but there is some logic behind the science, and it is a government allowance. And I think the logic is this: when you turn 55, that your chances of getting a job each year decrease thereafter as you get older. So the logic is that, and for many, this becomes soul destroying. And when it becomes soul destroying, they lose all their drive. But if they can manage to put back into their community, and it's all not-for-profits, it can be schools, it can be charities, it can be sporting clubs, and you can allocate your time to more than one sport or one charity or one school. So I think you can have up to two people. So basically, we cover this a little bit more. If you need some more detail, go to my just inbox us or email me on info@tdcommunitysolutions.com.au. It's, as I talked about, those 6 main challenges. If you get this right, if you can get 3 or 4 people to come and help your club, it can actually change the world of your volunteers and help extend the lifespan of those volunteers. And it just can be the new oxygen that they actually need in terms of bringing your club, sometimes out of the mire, because there are, as I've said, we're working with well over 500 clubs now, and they all have the same challenges across all sports. And this is really a terrific opportunity. I think it's, I just think share this with everyone if you can, please, because this will benefit every sport in the country. And as I said, I only became aware of it 3 months ago. There's a formula running a club. This is a 100-year-old problem. There's a lot of emotion and pressure on the volunteers. This is your solution. This is your solution. So let's say you're struggling in finance and in revenue and forward planning and getting people on your committee. You potentially can have an allowance, government allowance, pay for that person, directly to that person, not to the club, $14,200 a year. And it's a very generous assets test. I'm finding 98% of my people qualify for this allowance. And typically the assets test excludes your house, excludes your super. So basically it's a fantastic initiative. It's really making a huge difference to my community clubs. Please spread the word. If you need any more information, as I said, go to my Facebook page, which is TD Solutions Sports Administration, there's a lot of sensational content. This is one of probably the 50 topics we discuss at our workshops that we deliver, 3-hour face-to-face workshops specifically for your club. And then we develop that roadmap in terms of how we can put your club on a clear path in terms of thriving moving forward. So hope you've enjoyed this. I've enjoyed doing this for you. I feel fortunate, and our company feels fortunate to work in this space, and that we are making a real difference. Hopefully this will give you some clear direction, and we're really pleased to be able to pass on the advice that we've learned. And enjoy your day. And it's a bit cooler today, so we're very thankful for that. So day 4 done and dusted. Look forward to the next 17 days and passing on some tips to you and your volunteers. Take care. Cheers.